Alright, game changers, welcome back to another video. And I know it's really been a while, hasn't it? It's been a minute, but I know I uploaded the live com before, but that was just kind of to ease my way back into making content again for YouTube. And the reason, and I will share the reason why I've been away for so long and why I haven't uploaded, but just getting back and easing back into the content was the reason why I started that live com. Actually, even to ease back into the content, I started playing first and foremost Modern Warfare 3 again. And literally, I have been playing, I haven't stopped playing games, because believe me, I still play games. I don't play as much as I did before, to be quite honest, but going back into Call of Duty, I was just like, you know what? Since I'm thinking about going back into content creation again, might as well start playing Call of Duty again, right? So at least I have some darn gameplay for it. So that was what I did, and that's definitely where I'm at right now. So yeah, I've been away from YouTube for some time now, and the reason for that is that I just have not had really the time to sit down and think of content regarding Call of Duty, because Call of Duty, I think, has just been stale for a long time. And more power to those people who have been grinding out Call of Duty consistently, even right now. Like, they are just, man, I gotta give them a lot of credit, because to be quite honest, I don't see a whole lot of change in Call of Duty. Yes, there are season updates, there are different things that they bring into, you know, these games with updates and weapons and all this kind of stuff. But honestly, I don't like really covering those things, because it's just boring. It really is just boring to me. I don't think that there's anything really exciting, truly exciting or game breaking that Call of Duty updates itself with, because let's be honest here, Call of Duty has been around for a long time. And with any franchise that's been around for a long time when it comes to gaming, there's not a whole lot of things that you can change about it, right? Because there's a formula that just kind of works with that game. And because it works, there's not a whole lot of changes. It's one thing if you have like a new game or like a sequel to a game that's not been around for a long time, but with Call of Duty, it has been a long time around. Like, it's been around for some time. So there's only a few things that you could really change. And I feel like that's why a lot of their developers, like for example, David Vonderhaar, even the one who's making X Defiant, I forget his name off the top of my head. Please remind me down in the comment section below. You guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, these developers who have been with Call of Duty for a while and have been a part of that success model have moved away, and a lot of them are saying kind of the same things, that, you know, there's only so much that you can do, and then the creative juices just kind of stop right there. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, people get into Call of Duty, people are fans of Call of Duty for Call of Duty. You know what I mean? The thing that has been working for it for a while. And if you kind of if you kind of deter yourself away from that, and people just don't like that. There's a community that just wants the same thing in a sense over and over, but then that same community also wants it not to remain the exact same and wants something different. But again, how do you do something different with something that's been done a long time and, you know, repeated time after time after time, so many times over? And then another thing is just the annual releases, man. The annual release cycle of Call of Duty games has led to just a sense of predictability and fatigue among players. That's why the player numbers have just dropped off, because with a new game coming out every year, there's often not enough time for significant changes or improvements to be made. And if there's one thing that I would recommend for Call of Duty to do, is not have an annual release. But let's be honest, guys, we already know that Call of Duty, they thrive on the annual releases. They love releasing, especially Activision loves releasing Call of Duty games every single year. I would love nothing more, and I'm sure a lot of you guys as well will love nothing more than for Call of Duty to come out maybe every 2 or 3 years instead. You know, allow us to just digest the previous game and then, you know, anticipate and look forward to something new, not just every single year. And probably another thing is just the overemphasis on multiplayer. Now, let me explain myself here. Even though Call of Duty's multiplayer has been a key component of its success, a lot of us, especially those of us who are main multiplayer people, and I'm talking about real multiplayer here, not Warzone. When I talk about multiplayer, I am talking about Warzone mainly. They're putting more focus on that and the free stuff over the people who have actually paid for, you know, these game modes in the game that we can again only access by purchasing the game. Warzone, everybody has access to, you know, and it's just putting too much focus on that aspect of the game versus the actual multiplayer, the core of what made Call of Duty before Warzone, you know, so great. And of course, the single player campaigns and cooperative modes have really been lacking. They honestly really have. And the Modern Warfare 3 campaign was a perfect example. It was a perfect example of that. Like, it was missing so much. It was missing great storytelling. It was lacking, you know, just that innovation. And of course, all across the internet, people have been saying how they couldn't really understand why they did this. Why even come out with that campaign if they knew it was going to be, you know, just so underwhelming? Like, it felt really rushed. And a lot of people actually in the community feel that, you know, these practices that mainly Activision has been prioritizing has just been off the chain in terms of not prioritizing us, the real players and the community. And then also microtransactions have really been more than anything the priority for these guys. Monetization over the player experience is what we are all seeing. And just these microtransactions, speaking of them, it's just insane with these bundles that I'm seeing. These are ridiculous prices for microtransactions, especially for a paid game. If you're already paying what, $70, sometimes even $100, depending on the edition that you buy, and you're putting these crazy bundles that have, you know, $30, and most recently I see like an $80 one, like, get out of here, bro. Like, I can maybe understand, I still can't, but maybe it's a little more understandable for something that's free to play, like completely free, and you have these cosmetic items and stuff like that. But in a game where you're already paying so much money just to buy in, and you have these ridiculous bundles, at this point they're just testing the waters and seeing what they can get away with. But it's honestly, it's not okay. It's not okay, and it shouldn't be in the game. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the status of Call of Duty nowadays. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And also, I'm glad to be here back on the mic. I'm not gonna lie, it does feel good. But anyways, hope to talk to you guys in the next one. And until then, this is GCP signing off.